That's hilarious. In RE4, they just banned submitting times that are too slow. That's pretty based, actually, honestly. You can no longer submit runs that are like too long. XD. I'm sure the limit's insane. It's probably like 3 hours or something. You gonna check out Returnal when it hits PC in spring? Maybe. I heard it was cool, but it had problems because it was stuck on PS5. And I don't know if those problems will be resolved by being on PC or what, but maybe. Definitely a maybe. Why does DMC5 suck? I don't know. Ask Kitsuno. He made it.
Resident Evil.
Too easy.
4.
That's a great question. I'd also like to ask him why it sucks. Why did he do that? I was hoping it would be good. President. What's up, Sebastian? What are my impressions about are the new RE4 remake? I think it looks terrible, but I'm hoping it's not going to be terrible. I hope it's good. Yeah, I know, Devil's Out. I'm just giving you shit. I don't like to talk about it because I talk about it every single fucking stream. But basically, V makes me want to jump off a fucking bridge in real life in Minecraft. And the physics feels like you're playing Kirby in Super Smash Bros. 64. Literally harder to be on the ground than in the air. I hate the aesthetic. I think it is like completely unreadable and just looks terrible. Not the biggest fan of the music, but it's probably my least thing I would complain the least about. The level design on every level except for mission 2 is absolute dog shit. I don't like any of the bosses. I hate that the story focuses around Virgil because he's the least interesting character in the series. Yeah. I feel like the game doesn't really have any soul. It feels like, haha, check it out. Malay Island, get it guys? DMC1. Haha. Remember that? Remember DMC1? Hey look guys, it's Cerberus. Remember DMC3? Wasn't that game so good? Virgil guys, remember DMC3? You know, it just feels like the whole game is just one big reference. You know, it's like, has no self-identity, in my opinion. I don't like the characters. I like Nero more in 4. Yeah, remember? You guys remember? No, yeah, you're fine. It's no worries. Yeah, Nightmare. Remember Nightmare? Remember Griffin? Remember Shadow? Yeah, it's a fucking Panzerfest. Like, I just feel like the game is just like, remember all these things, and then doesn't actually do anything interesting. And all the stuff that it does that is new is like, either not good or wasted on stuff that I don't care about. You know? Like, Nero's fun to play in that game, but I don't really like the breaker system. I like his new DT mechanics and stuff, and I like SDT and stuff. I think that's cool, like Quad S and stuff. But I just wasted because the game feels like shit to play. Because you just fly around like a goddamn... It feels like you're playing... Like, you know how Bayonetta 3... You're playing like a kaiju game, you're not really playing Bayonetta. Like, DMC 5 feels like you're playing a Dragon Ball Z game. Not Devil May Cry. You know, you're flying the whole time. It's like impossible to hit the ground. You have all these super moves that insta-kill the entire arena. That you have like 6 of those that you can use with every character. You know, like... What's up, Artsy? Me too. Yeah, the level design is just awful. Like mission 2 in DMC5, I will give DMC5 credit where it deserves credit. Mission 2, probably one of the best designed levels in a video game I have ever played in my life. The aesthetics are so pretty, and you go through like 6 different sceneries, and the time of day changes across the level, and it is so cool. It has this really big set piece boss fight. Fucking awesome. Every other level is dog shit. Like every single, it's like all of the level design budget went into that level, and every other level is like the same Qlifoth fucking tentacle monster level that doesn't even look good for the whole game. Which is really a shame. Yeah, thanks, average person. Appreciate that. Hope you enjoy. Welcome. Hello, Squishy. That's going pretty good. You know, and I don't know. And I just don't enjoy playing it. That's like the biggest thing. This doesn't feel good to play. They got rid of reversals and inertia, so like most of the combat depth that came from 4s is non-existent. I mean, it's got some great stuff. Like Dante having loadouts, you know, so you don't have to have everything at once. Phenomenal idea. Like that is a perfect idea. Like Nero having his new like stuff that he has in Devil Trigger and Sin DT. Like awesome ideas. I think like really good stuff, but none of it matters because the actual like fundamental core of the game, like the physics, just feels like ass to play. And also the game is ugly as shit. Like I really dislike realistic aesthetics. And I think that especially for a game like Devil May Cry, it makes it impossible to tell what's going on. There's like way too much detail for what's happening. Like what's perfect for Devil May Cry is like DMC4's aesthetics. You can tell on an instant what's going on. You can read everything super clearly. It's like perfect. It doesn't feel like too cluttered and stuff. And like the big one obviously is V. Like just V feels like shit to play. Not fun whatsoever. I hate playing as him.
What are you selling?
And the fact that they didn't make it so that you could play as any character you want on replays for every mission is just a joke. Like you can, V is inexcusable, but like, okay, if you want to make V, that's fine, right? Like they tried. I commend them for trying something new. You know, they failed. You know, not your best effort isn't always enough. You know, like little kids learn this shit in sports, but nowadays we give them participation trophy. But like, Capcom shouldn't get a fucking participation trophy for V. You know, like what they should get is like, okay, you want to try playing, like you want to try making us play as V for the first playthrough. That's fine. Just let us play as whatever character we want for the new game plus playthroughs for every mission. There's literally no reason not to. Requires 0 extra coding. Literally, you just mod. You can mod the game to do that, and it's easy. It just works. You don't have to fix anything, right? Like, it is inexcusable that you can't do that. So now, literally, every time you want to play the game again on New Game Plus, you have to play as V for 1/4 of it, and it's just insufferable. Makes me never want to play the game again. It's like, just let me play as other characters. Like, I understand making you play as V the first time, because you want people to try and like experience a new character, you know? But if they don't want to play as him, just let them play as other characters. But no, you can't. You gotta fucking play as V for 1/4 of the goddamn game. It's fucking cringe. It's fucking cringe. It's not fun. Definitely agree about the realism route Capcom's taken ever since they switched to RE engine. DMC is so stylized, it's weird to see that level of fidelity. Yeah, and it just doesn't work, in my opinion. Another thing that really sucks about DMC5 is that because of the realistic stylized aesthetic, if they want to do something flashy, they have to use a million particle effects. And that makes the game literally impossible to look good when streaming or recording. Because you need like 17 million bitrate for the game to look good. Which means like all footage of the game online everywhere looks like shit. Which is like just really unfortunate. I hit the fucking log. Sag. Sorry, I'm ranting. Ranting and I'm washed. I don't care, average person. Remake looks like shit, but I hope it's not. I want them to do literally anything but a one-to-one recreation. Bro, if they fucking make Leon roundhouse kick and suplex dinosaurs, I feel like that would be better than a one-to-one recreation. I am down like a fucking clown. Just don't give me the same fucking game. The game is already good. If they do one-to-one, the game's gonna be dog shit. Because the game was already good. The game's already a masterpiece. What are you gonna fucking do? You're not gonna make it better by doing a one-to-one. I hope they do some crazy shit and make it like a completely different game, honestly. They won't, but they'll probably do it like they did 3 and 4 remake, or 2 and 3 remake rather, where it's like basically the same game, but they take out all the interesting mechanics and got the story and got out everything back in. No, you're fine, Devils. I rant all the time. If it wasn't you, it'd be something else. I'm a hater. I love to rant. I just really fucking hate realistic aesthetics, honestly. It's, they age like shit, and they just don't work for video games. What's up, Captain Omar? I'm not a fan. What's up, gang girl? How long is RE4? Like an hour 40. Oh, I forgot to split. Oopsies. Oh wait, no, I'm using the wrong layout. That's what it is. Hold on. One second. I forgot to change the layout. There we go. Happy New Year, Kuba.
Oh yeah, thanks for the support.
Yeah, Renan. Thank you so much for the 2 months. I appreciate that. It definitely will get watered down. Realistic graphics make sense for horror. Okay, but like, I don't care. I don't care. Horror is cringe. Horror games aren't good. I hate horror games. Personally, like, just keep horror games away from me. I don't like them, so I think they're fucking boring. Valid argument. However, I don't care. Yeah, exactly. Also, I would argue it doesn't even help in horror, because Silent Hill 1 is one of the scariest games I've ever played. And the reason for that is Okay. The psychology of horror is that whatever you come up with in your brain, in your mind, is going to be way scarier than anything that you could make in real life. Like, your brain, it knows exactly how to scare the shit out of you. And by giving something high fidelity and showing you exactly what is there, immediately makes it not scary. 100%. And it also allows you to desensitize yourself to it. That's why all really good horror media has this level of obfuscation so that you can't actually see what it is. That's why when you watch a really good horror movie, you don't see the monster, like, ever, until like maybe like the very end. Because just seeing shadows and noises and spooky shit is way scarier. As soon as you actually show the monster, not scary at all. Yeah, and then the monster is some fucking goofy motherfucker with a mask on, right? Like, immediately not scary. That's why games like Silent Hill 1 are so scary. Because what the fuck is that? It's like some PS1 blob of textures and like 6 pixels across. It's fucking terrifying. But like, let's say you remake Silent Hill 1 and you make it like ultra realistic, like 4K, ultra high definition butt plug simulator version, you know. You fucking see the fucking enemy and it just looks like an enemy. You know what I mean? There's no imagination. Like, it just is real. It's just there. You're like, oh. That's just a person with a bag on their head. Not scary. Yeah, exactly, Heartsy. Way scarier. So I feel like part of the reason why like Silent Hill 1 and 2 and 3 are scary is because they look like shit. And like upgrading them to make them like higher graphical fidelity and blah, 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 giving them a realistic aesthetic will make them actively less scary.
Wait, follow me.
Yeah, well, the sound, so like, you know, when you can't rely on your eyes to tell you exactly what it is, the sound helps to fill the gaps, right? And so you aren't using your eyes as much because, well, it's hard to see what's happening. So you rely on audio, which is why audio is so important in horror games.
Trying to kill me? Use this.
What's up, VLD? How you doing, dude? Nah, I'm excited for Dead Space Remake too. But like, people need to understand the reason why I'm excited for these games is because I like the mechanics. I don't really care at all about the horror aspect.
Are you trying to kill me? Me, them.
Like, people often attribute me as being a horror streamer somehow. I don't really get that, but the horror game, like horror in quotation marks games that I play, I don't play them because of the horror. Like, I play RE4 because the game is fun. I don't like wake up in the morning and put my diaper on. I'm ready to go shit my pants by playing RE4. You know. There's a reason I speedrun them. Yeah, like that's why, you know, mechanics first always. If the game's fun to play, it's fun to play. Like Dead Space 2 is one of my favorite games because the combat is just super fun. Like removing limbs from enemies and using kinesis to throw stuff and do puzzles and shit, like that's just fun, you know? It's the last horror game I played. Casually, probably like Silent Hill 3. Like 3 years ago.
Leon!
Awesome, average person. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Wait.
Do I prefer doing regular runs or randomizer runs? Well, randos are more interesting because I've done like thousands of regular runs, but regular runs are over faster, so that's always an upside. I don't know. You know what's even scarier than horror games? Grocery shopping during Black Friday, holidays, or during COVID lockdown. Oh my god. Yeah, that is terrifying, you're right. No, Emoti. Have you ever tried tough mods like Rising of Evil? No, because they're fucking dog shit. So if people don't know, like Rising of Evil or like, what's the other one called? Hell on Earth. There are these mods for RE4 that make the game like super hard in quotation marks. They're made by this guy called Lewis Weber, possibly the worst game designer of all time. Brazilian dude. But basically it's like he makes RE4 super difficult by just making every room have like 1,000 chainsaw enemies and they all insta-kill you and they have like 6 times the normal HP.
Wait.
Probably the worst mod I have ever seen in my life.
Follow me.
It looks completely unfun and dog shit. So no, I will never play that shit. It's like, ah, yes, difficulty. Enemies with basically unlimited HP that all insta-kill you and there's 600 of them in the room. Ah, yes, very skillful and fun.
Wait, follow me. Wait, follow me. Wait, follow
I
me.
will quite enjoy my
Wait,
time
follow
with
me.
this.
Wait, follow me. Wait, follow me.
It's just boredom. You don't get enough ammo and shit, so like, when I watch Pharaoh do it, like, literally spent like hours and hours and hours and hours just knifing Super Salvadors to death because he doesn't have any ammo. It's like, oh, what's that? Super Salvador got up because you got unlucky and then he insta-killed you and now you have to fucking knife him for another 30 minutes? Like, that sounds really fun.
Are you okay, Leon?
Take you like 40 hours to beat the game. That's so fun. I don't know, when it comes to stuff like that, like challenge runs or mods and stuff, it has to actually be balanced well, otherwise I just refuse to play it. Like, some people take challenge runs way too, like, I don't know, they get like this weird erection about like, oh, it's so difficult or whatever the fuck, like. But like, they forget that video games are supposed to be fun. So like, people always ask me like, hey, like you should do a knife only run of RE4 or like, you know, like You've done like you can't run, like walking only and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, that's cringe. Like, you know how much you have to shoot in this game? Like, knife only is not even possible, obviously, but it's like not even close to being possible. Like, you know how many times you need to shoot something in this game?
Wait.
In knife only? Like 18 times. It's like not even close to possible. Like, that's so many shots that it's like not even interesting. It's like not even knife only, like not even close to knife only, you know? Like, I just find that shit boring. Like, that's not a good challenge run to me because it's just like not even close to possible, you know?
Wait. Welcome.
And I feel the same way. It's like, should you like, you know,
You're selling.
walking only? It's like, that's just the same game except for less fun. Like, nothing actually changes about the way you play the game. It just becomes less fun to watch and do. That's why when I do challenge runs, I try to only do ones that like I actually think are cool.
Thank you. Come back anytime. Follow me.
And like, some people take it way too fucking seriously. Like, oh, I need to make it like as hard as possible and forget about it actually being fun. Like, I used to know this guy called Big Ball Bill, and he'd do like the stupidest fucking challenge runs that like even he didn't enjoy doing. You know, it'd be like RE4, walking backwards only, knife only, danger HP the whole time. Like, bro, no one fucking cares. Who the fuck wants to watch that? I don't want to watch that. You don't want to do that. Like, that just sounds fucking awful. That doesn't sound fun for anyone involved. Like, why would you do that? You know what I mean? It's just cringe, honestly. Like, I don't get it. I just sound like a beta? No, I just like to have fucking fun with my video games. And like, there's nothing actually interesting about that. It just is fucking pain. For like, just for pain's sake. It's just masochism, essentially. Like, when I do challenges, I try to make them actually interesting. Like, one of the ones I want to do is like, can you beat RE4 backwards? Like, that's interesting. That's cool. That's like different, you know, like, it's a genuine question. Like, so you use the trainer to teleport yourself backwards. So like, the first room in the game is Salazar. And then after you, or Sadler, I mean. And then once you beat Sadler, then you teleport back another room to the merchant. And then once you beat that room, you teleport back another room to War Room. You know, and you just keep going backwards and backwards and backwards until you beat the game, which would be you end up in the first room of the game, right? Like, that's actually like an interesting thing that would very much change the way you play the game. Or like, yeah, or like a one weapon run, like with the randomizer, you know, like legitimately like you have different playstyles depending on which weapon you use. Like, another thing I want to do is I want to do speedruns, but I play as the mercenaries characters in the campaign. So like, do speedruns of the game, but I play as Hunk or Krauser or Wesker. And so like, you know, you have a completely different melee move set and you have different weapon sets and stuff, and the way that you would speedrun the game is completely different than the way you would normally speedrun the game. It's like a legitimately different thing, instead of just like, can I beat it without getting hit? Or can I like walk backwards with 1 HP and knife everything to death the whole game? You know? Like, to me, that just sounds way more fun. Like, that just sounds like something that is like actually interesting, you know? Like, that would be fun for me to do. I wouldn't be doing it, and it wouldn't take me 40 hours to do it, and then I would hate myself the whole time, and it wouldn't even be fun. That's just me though. I mean, I know some people must like that stuff. I just fucking not me.
Follow me. Wait.
So Tempest Frost. Gonna fucking shoot me. Yeah, I'm dead. I hit the wrong button.
Wait.
Sag. What about RE4 with reverse controls? I mean, that would just be like, you don't, that doesn't change the way you play the game at all. Like, that's a bad challenge run idea, you know? Like, what does that change? How does that change the way you approach the actual mechanics of the game? Like, it doesn't. You just had to get used to the new controls. That's it.
Follow me.
Like, to me, a good challenge run is one that, like, actually makes you interact with the game in a new and unique way. Like a way that you wouldn't normally interact with it unless you were doing that challenge run. Like if you're playing through the base campaign as Krauser, that's not how you would normally play the game, right? Like legitimately, like you'd have to approach things in a new and unique way. Like you're interacting with the game in a different way than normal. So that would be like legit fun. A no damage run? Now see, no damage runs are boring. I hate no damage runs. Because what are you doing in a no damage run? You play in the most passive, boring, bitch mode way possible. Because what's the objective? To not get hit. And what is the most effective way to not get hit? To play as slow and passive as possible. And what is not fun to do? Play slow or passive. It's not fun to watch either. Like, what's more fun to do or watch? Like, kill a boss in Dark Souls from 1,000 miles away with a bow and not get hit?
Watch out for me.
Or to, like, be right up in his face and, like, roll and shit and do it that way? Like, I know which one sounds more fun to me. What's up, Susie? How you doing? I'm glad you said it. Oh, I am the king of all haters, Susie. I will. This is what I've been doing like all day, basically, since I started RE4. Just talking about how much I hate things. Oh, I'm cringe. I hate myself. There was a lady indeed. Liking things bad. No, I actually love liking things. I really don't like to hate on things. But chat has this insatiable urge to only talk about stuff that I dislike. I don't know why. I imagine you're tired of running this game by now? Yeah, I really dislike running this game. I mean, it's fine to do like once a week for marathons. I don't mind that at all. It's fun. Like, I still like the game. I just would never actually grind for a better time, really. Chat feeds the emotions. Turns out it's easier to make the streamer hate on things. True, especially when it's me. Streaming experience, right? Right? Susie, you gotta play Time Splitters. It's really good, I swear. Actually, I want to know your opinion on Dead Space 3, Susie, because like, I was watching my friends speedrun Dead Space 3 the other day, and I'm watching this game, and I'm like, action roll, good shooting mechanics, interesting weapon building mechanics. Everything about this game, when I look at it from an outside perspective, makes me think that I would actually enjoy playing it. But all I remember is that the last time I played it, when I was like, when it came out, when I was young, was that it was really boring and I didn't like it. But like, look, I kind of want to try it again. And I, like, on paper, it seems like it would be good. But I haven't played it in forever. I mean, obviously it's got the fucking, like, insane amount of cutscenes that are all unskippable and all that bullshit, but like, mechanically it at least looks fun. And, you know, Dead Space 1 and 2 have that too. You have the same feeling when you watch footage of it? Okay, so I'm not insane. I figured we would have similar perspectives on it. Have you ever tried Ninja Gaiden? Yes, Ninja Gaiden Black is possibly the worst game of all time. It's up there with RE7 for me. I fucking hate that game. Which emote do you want to add to my spectator? You can link it. See, but I am of the philosophy that the game can be complete dog shit in literally every way except for the mechanics. As long as the mechanics are good, bro, I could literally be playing Hello Kitty fucking My Little Pony Princess Adventure Rescue for all I care. It'll still be fun as fuck. Like, I really don't give a fuck. All that matters is the mechanics. That's it. You know what I mean? That is my opinion about it. So like, for a game like Mirror's Edge, it's like, as long as the mechanics are good, then it's fucking the best game of all time, dude. I'm down. Like a fucking clown till I'm dead in the ground. You know, I'm all about it. But I never actually played Mirror's Edge, so. Obviously, I think that like story and aesthetics, you know, those can add to the game experience. But I feel like ultimately, the most important part is the fuck back here, bitch, is the gameplay, you know. But that's what makes video games unique, right? Otherwise, it's like, if you want a really good story, I have quite the thing for you. It's called reading a fucking book. But I don't like Ninja Gaiden Black. No. And I will tell you why I don't like Ninja Gaiden Black. Because, hear me out. Hear me out. Ninja Gaiden Black is not supposed to be fun. Ninja Gaiden Black is meant to be as annoying and frustrating as possible. Quite literally, the designers of the game were not thinking, how do we make a fun gameplay experience? What they thought is, how do we make something that it feels satisfying to beat? And those two things are not necessarily the same thing. Because when you actually are playing Ninja Gaiden Black, in the moment, it's not fun. It feels like shit. Every 5 seconds, you're like, what the fuck was that? That was bullshit. And then when you beat the game, you're like, ah, yes, I beat the game. That feels so good. Like, legitimately, the game is designed in a way to make it as unfun and unlearnable as possible. I'll give you an example. Flying Swallow, the best move in the entire game, is literally random. There is no skill involved with this move. You jump, you do the inputs for the move, and then the game rolls some fucking dice like you're playing D&D, And then it decides whether you hit or not. That's literally it. Not skill-based. Actually just random. Why the fuck? It's literally the best move in the game. And you know how you know this? Because it literally gets more random at higher difficulties. So they give you this move that is insanely good, that is useful in every situation, and then they just make it random. Why? Who fucking knows? Because they want to make the game as frustrating and as bullshit as possible. Yes, Dark Souls has the same design philosophy, where they obfuscate all the mechanics as much as they possibly can, so that it feels satisfying when you beat it. And like a perfect example for Dark Souls, right? In Elden Ring, medium and light equip load have the same amount of iframes on rolls. So what is the point of going for lightweight? Well, there isn't. The mechanic just does nothing. How are you supposed to know this? You're not. You just don't know this. You can't know this. So you will play with a huge statistical disadvantage for no reason, because the game tells you that light roll good. No, it doesn't, Risota. It literally doesn't. It's literally the same. Here's another fun fact. Fucking, have you ever thought about parrying in Dark Souls? Have you ever tried to parry something in Dark Souls? Well, did you know that what weapon you have equipped that you're parrying with affects how many parry frames you have? So some weapons have more parry frames than others. This is not explained anywhere, ever. Of course it does. How do you know that? The game does not tell you this. Ever. It's not in item descriptions. It's not in any of that shit. In fact, in Dark Souls 3, the katana in the item description says it's a great weapon for parrying. Did you know the katana is literally the worst weapon in the game to parry with? It has the least active frames on the parry of any weapon in the entire game, when literally in the description of the weapon it says it's great for parrying. Why would it explain that? Because it's a fundamental mechanic. Literally, like, if you want to parry, you need to be using weapons that are good for parrying. But there is no tell in the game that some weapons have better parries than others. Literally none. There's no, like, when you try to parry something, there is no feedback in game telling you whether you parried early or late, or how many parry frames that each weapon has. So you literally just have to look it up.
I got the key. I can get out.
That's it. You just have to look it up. And how do people that looked it up know this information? Because they data mine the fucking game. What games do? Every game. Every game. Like, okay, perfect example. Devil May Cry 3. How do you know if you hit a parry? Well, if you block too early, you get chip damage, but you still block some of the damage. And you get like an animation specifically for when you block too early. When you block too late, you get hits. If you block an attack that you can't block on that timing, then it'll have this shattering animation. It's called feedback. Games are supposed to have fucking feedback so you know how you miss the timing. If you do an attack, if you try to parry an attack from Pontiff, for example, in Dark Souls 3, you try to parry, you get hit, it misses. There's no feedback, right? How are you supposed to know which attacks you can and can't parry? There's no tell. You could just keep trying to parry the same attack over and over again because there's no logic behind what attacks you can and can't parry. Pontiff will fucking hit you with a sword, trial and error, but there's no tell. What are you just supposed to fucking keep parrying until you give up? That's that's literally the most dog shit way you could ever design a parry system in like, if I spent all of my fucking caloric energy I've expended in my entire life on making a more dog shit parry system, I literally could not make one worse. It is physically impossible. Like, You could take all of the caloric energy from everyone ever and use it on the sole purpose of making a more dogshit parry system, and you would fail. You just cannot. It is impossible. Because it's not meant to be fair. It's not meant to be learnable. You're not supposed to be like, oh, I'm gonna sit here and learn how to parry all of his attacks and which attacks are or are not parryable. What you're supposed to do is beat your head against the fucking wall until you RNG luck your way into beating the boss, so that when you come out the other side, you go, wow, that was really hard. I beat this. And that's why people like Souls, because it gives them this I beat this feeling. But if you actually learn how the mechanics work, you realize that it is complete dog shit and completely unfun. Like for me, when I play games, even on my first playthrough, I like to dive deep and understand the mechanics and actually learn how to get good at the game. But when I did that, when I played Elden Ring, the more I learned about the game, the less I enjoyed it. Because every time I learned how something worked, I was like, that is the dumbest way you could possibly make this work. And then I think to myself, why would the developers want it to play like that? Yeah, I finished it. I speedran Elden Ring. But like, why would I want the game to work this way? And the only thing I could come up with is you want to make it difficult to complete, but you don't know how to do that while making the game fair. So what you do is you hide the mechanics behind all these walls of RPG stats that don't do anything. And give this illusion of it being like this very difficult but fair challenge. So that people feel good about themselves when they beat it. But if you actually try to learn the mechanics and become good at them and consistent at them, you quickly realize, oh, the game is just bullshit. And that's exactly how I feel about Ninja Gaiden as well, which is why I don't like these games. Because I want my games to play consistently and intuitively and fairly. Now, I think it's perfectly acceptable to make a game with the sole purpose of making it satisfying to beat, even if you make the mechanics nonsensical and unfun. Like that's certainly one way to make a video game, right? And if people want to make the video game that way, more power to them. Obviously, people like playing games that are like that. But for me, it's fucking dog shit. I hate it so much. Like it fucking is so unfun. Yeah, dude, just a skill issue. Yeah, totally. You're just like that much better of a human being than me, honestly. You're just like way better, obviously. Yeah, it's super consistent for me. I sat there and fucking bashed my dick into a cheese grater for 600 hours so I could learn exactly which attacks are and are not parryable. So obviously it's just a skill issue. Like, everyone should just, if you think that it's unintuitive, then just spend 600 hours in the game. Forehead. Like, yeah, obviously, that's the solution. You're trying to parry everything? Yes. Because I like parry mechanics in games. And if they're actually good, then you can at least tell. Like, if I try to parry an attack, I'd be like, oh, I can't parry that. Because like a specific animation or some sort of feedback from the game tells me that you can't parry that. Like, Devil May Cry, you can parry everything. Right? And if you couldn't parry something, there would be a feedback in the game, like a specific animation or a sound or audio cue or something that tells you, like, you can't parry this. That way you can at least know. It's not designed to be played like that. Okay, but like literally in Dark Souls, you can parry a fuck ton of attacks. And which attacks you can and can't parry is completely arbitrary. Like, it's impossible to know unless you try. Right? So why would you assume that some attacks you can parry and some attacks you can't? Like, there are some attacks in Dark Souls that I watch someone parry and I go, holy fuck, I would have never guessed you could parry that. And other attacks that look like the most parryable things of all time that you can't parry. And so when I'm playing the game and there's no feedback to tell me if I can and can't parry something, I'm just going to assume, like, whatever ones I intuit that I could parry. But that's also not true. And that leads to moments in gameplay where you're trying to do something and there's no way to tell if it's going to work or not. Which leads to you headbutting against the wall for no reason. When literally the game should just tell you if you can or can't parry it. Like, what would the downside be to the game telling you that you can and can't parry it? Oh, I know. It would be easier to tell what you can and can't parry. And by making it not be able to tell what you can and can't parry, artificially makes the game more difficult. Yeah, because there's no fucking tells. So you just have to RNG guess everything, which pads out playtime and makes people think it's hard, which is just complete bullshit. That's not hard. That's just arbitrary. It's just fucking padding. It's not actually making it any more mechanically difficult. All it's doing is locking game knowledge behind grinding out fucking essentially RNG playtime or looking it up. But that's part of the point. I agree. They did it on purpose because they wanted to make the game not fair or fun. If you think that that's fun, fair enough. But what I'm saying is that's dog shit game design. Like, if you want to make the game at all, like, viable in any sort of consistent or competitive way, or like, you know, fun for people that want to master it, that is the worst way you could go about doing it. If you want people to actually learn what you can and can't parry instead of just avoiding the mechanic altogether like most players do, then you need to add feedback systems in place so that you can actually fucking do that. But they don't want people to get good at their games. In fact, the developers for FromSoft games actively dislike when people are good at their games because they take it as a fucking personal attack on them. So they spend all of their fucking development time trying to make it as unlearnable as possible. They intentionally fuck with the game design to make it as unlearnable as possible so that it's hard for people to be good at the game. Because they don't want you to be good at the game. But my whole thing is, what I find fun about games is getting good at them. So if I'm playing a game that actively is like, fuck you, I want you to not know how to play this, I want it to not be fun, then I'm not going to enjoy it, which is exactly how I feel about Ninja Gaiden as well. I mean, there are plenty of games that like want you to be good at them that don't have tutorials. Like, you don't need a tutorial. Ouch. I think the worse kind of a player you are, the more fun you have in Dark Souls. When it's too easy, the game is when it's too easy, the game is lost. Like, the fun is lost in the game. Yeah. Well, it's because, like, if you actually understand how the mechanics work, you know what moves you can parry, you know the timings on things and all that stuff, then the game is trivially fucking easy. You know, and like, that loses the entire point of Dark Souls, which is to be like, haha, fucking game is hard. You know, which is to give you that feeling of accomplishment when you beat it, which is fine. But like, you can't tell me that the game wants you to get good at it, because it sure as fuck doesn't. And personally, that's my least favorite type of game, where I play the game and I can feel the game pushing back. I can feel the game being like, no, I don't want you to know how to play this. Like, this is intentionally supposed to not be understandable. Which is the exact feeling I get when I play Dark Souls. I love the level design and world setting and stuff. I think it's sick. The gameplay tilts me to no end, because the more I play it, the less the gameplay decisions make sense, like the gameplay mechanic decisions.
Welcome. Got some rare. What are you selling? Is what are you buying? Thanks. Come back anytime.
Consistency in gameplay design is only an upside, because casual players will still enjoy the challenging experience and competitive players will find it fun mastering the game. Yeah, like I said, I mean, obviously some people like it, but like, as someone who's literally made a career out of mastering games, I find those the least satisfying to master, because the more you learn about it, the less it makes sense. And you just can literally see the developers behind the mechanics intentionally trying to make them hard to understand, specifically to fuck with you. And it's just like, why bother? Like, why? This is the thing that I came to. This is like my conclusion I came to after playing Elden Ring. It's like, why would I put in the time to get good at this game so I can play it more, when obviously the developers don't want me to do that? Like, the game itself actively disincentivizes you from becoming good at it. So like, why should I fucking bother? Like, if my first playthrough is gonna be not that fun because I can't learn the mechanics and I have to spend like a bunch of fucking hours to actually do, like, to actually have some grasp of the mechanics, and it's not fun to do so, then why would I even bother? Like, there are plenty of games that are actually built to be fair and understandable that like are enjoyable in that way, you know? Like, this is the same thing I feel about like Ninja Gaiden. Like, when people tell me they love Ninja Gaiden, they're like, yeah, that first playthrough was complete bullshit. Like, I was mauling the whole time. But my second, third, fourth playthrough, those were really fun. And it's like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I'm sure once you know where all the pop-out enemies are that insta-kill you, or like the shit that is hiding behind a corner that's gonna jump at you, or how to fucking deal with ghost fish, right? Like,
What are you buying?
once you understand that, I'm sure the game's way more fun. Right? Like, I'm sure the game's like a lot of fun if you know all that stuff. But when your first playthrough is nothing but like getting absolutely ass blasted by all this bullshit that you couldn't possibly know how to play against, that you like, and it's not fun to figure out how to play against, why would the fuck would you do a second playthrough? Well, why? Like, I could just play a different game that's better, that I don't have to play for fucking like 12, 13 hours so that I can start having fun with, right? I just don't see the point. Like, why would I want to go again? They had an interview with Miyazaki about it. Basically, every enemy is a learning experience in its own way. Die until you learn how to beat the hollows, then move forward. I do agree they should get more feedback though. Well, see, my thing is like, if you want me to die until I learn how to beat the hollows, then there needs to be enough feedback for me to actually learn on each attempt, which there isn't in Dark Souls. Like, my biggest gripe with Dark Souls is that there isn't enough feedback. Like, you're not learning. Most people, when they beat a Dark Souls boss, didn't learn how to beat the boss. I mean, there was some learning, but a lot of times it's like, well, they didn't do that RNG attack that I don't know how to dodge this time, so I beat the boss. Like, the amount of times that I watched a streamer like play Dark Souls or something and they finally beat a boss, they're like praying that they don't do like 1 or 2 attacks that they just have no idea how to deal with. And that's not learning, that's getting lucky. Sekiro's more consistent. I have been told that I would like Sekiro a lot more than the other Souls games, which I probably would. Leave me the fuck alone, Novies, please. What's up, Phase Fishy? How you doing, dude? What's up, Dante? What's up, Grim? Or they have like 2 or 3 friends help just to blast them with damage. Yeah, like most people when they when they play Souls games, they like, you know, they RNG their way like face first through a boss, or like they use a bunch of summons, like, or they use magic or whatever. Like, it's all valid ways to play the game, but you don't really get that like complete bullshit experience unless you actually try to learn the game. But just like when I played Elden Ring on my second playthrough, or my first playthrough, what I did is I did a dex build and I rolled everything. And I never used magic because I wanted to learn the timings for bosses and stuff. And like, if you do that, you definitely see a lot more of the bullshit in the game than like, you know, doing like a use everything build. Because a lot of the stuff just straight up isn't designed to be played like that, you know? My favorite thing about Souls games, though, is when they just completely lie about what the RPG mechanics do. Like a stat would be like, this is called like endurance, you know? Lets you carry more stuff. But then like actually gives you like more iframes on your roll or something crazy like that. Like, or there are some stats that just like literally just do nothing. The stat just doesn't exist basically. What's up, Brandon? I do not. How you doing, dude? What's up, Deltafy? Howdy. Yeah, of course it doesn't. Because the games are bad. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's an insanely useful thing to know. Out of the ones I've played, I like Dark Souls 3 the most. As soon as I stopped trying to parry, it became way more fun. I still would like to try to run Dark Souls 3. Seems like a cool run. Morning, Valerie. No, I got a 4080. What's up? But I ran Elden Ring and that shit was dog shit. That game pissed me off. No, that sounds terrible, Demonic. I'll pass. Nah, I never played a Hitman game. Well, I mean, I played Doom Eternal. And Dead Space Remake and Remake when they come out. I think I would like Sekiro the most, to be fair. Base Silver Solar. You got your girlfriend a 3080 Ti, but she plays Maple Story on it. She probably got the best GPU in the Maple Story gang. Yeah, I've heard of it, Nikita. Never played it though, or seen gameplay. Yeah, Maple Story 2 is like MMO. It's 3D though. What's Maple Story about? It's an MMO. It's about wasting time and finding a long distance partner. Just like all MMOs. I trolled. Oh. Force my fiance to play fun games instead of League, so she gets some use out of her PC. That's hilarious. And based. Bro, my girlfriend wanted to play games when she was drunk yesterday, or 2 days ago. And I'm like, sure. She's never played on a computer before. She wanted to try Doom Eternal. Bro, she's so bad. It was hilarious. Oh. I was like trying to show her how to move around and stuff. And she like could only keep one finger on the keyboard at a time. Like I was like, keep your hands on WASD. And she would like move the mouse, but she'd never pick it up. So she'd like keep turning until she hit the bottom of the mouse pad. And then just not be able to turn.
Got some red. What are you buying?
Which was hilarious.
Come back anytime.
She didn't like understand that she needed to pick up the mouse and move it back to the middle. What's up, Himalayan? I'm doing good, man. Thanks for the luck. Tried to show a girl how to play on PC once and she couldn't understand the whole using keyboard and mouse at the same time. Yeah, that's kind of how she was too. What's up, Gage? Probably not, Vortex. She played like some Doom 2016 on a controller a long time ago.
Carly says big reads for 4 months. Hey, I do hello chest Soko Jam.
Yo, Carlitos, thanks for the 4 months, man. Appreciate that. Howdy. The funniest part was like, she's like, okay, I want to play something else. I was like, okay, cool. And she's like, I want to play Dark Souls. So I like booted up Dark Souls 3 for her. She spends like 10 minutes making a character that looks like her. And then she loads in and she can't figure out what the attack button is.
What are you buying?
And so I show her or whatever. And she instantly dies. Like I'm talking like the very first enemy, she instantly dies. And then she just drops the controller and she says, you know what? Fuck this, and leaves. Just walks out of the room. She probably played Dark Souls for like 11 minutes and 10 minutes of that was character creation. Dies to the first enemy, drops the controller, and just leaves. To be fair, she was drunk, but it was fucking funny. Unlucky. Pretty base though, honestly. I'd do the same. Yep. Okay, but like actually though, one time, she can be pretty good at video games. One time, like we were chilling in bed or whatever, some stuff happens. But afterwards, she's like, I want to play PUBG. I was like, I don't have it installed. She's like, no, I'm gonna play it on my phone. So she plays mobile PUBG. And she Chromecasts it to my TV so I can watch. Bro, she fucking won her very first attempt. Her first game, she won that shit. She got like 20 kills. And won. I was like, what? You fucking legend. To be fair, the people she was fighting against were fucking bots. Like, not literally, but like, they're probably some kids. And, they would like shoot at her first, take her like 10 seconds to turn around, and then she'd kill them. Most are bots, but some were human players. I believe it. That's fucking funny though. I was still impressed. Those are bots? Okay, I thought so. She's definitely playing with people on her team though. Kids equal bots? That's true. It's hard to tell. Some people are really bad at video games, dude. Like, be shocked. As human players, 99% of the time are worse than bots. In their defense, they're playing on fucking a phone. I would be pretty dog shit too if I was playing on a phone. Like all I'm saying is I was proud. You had a girl over at your house, yes. She's here often. Touch controls for games suck? Yeah, definitely. Fucking awful. Yeah, she's the fucking the goat, apparently. PUBG Mobile. Right? I'm saying. Yeah, some people are really bad at video games, man. It's just a fact of life. Censored hand holding. What's that room called? I don't think it has a name. Map room? That's its name now. She did ask to play RE4, but she had a really hard time with like the, if you want to shoot, you gotta hold down right click. She had a problem with that in Doom too when she's trying to use the sticky bombs. Like hold down right click and then press left click. Ashley, hello? Are you coming? Guess not. No, the tank controls were fine. It was just having to aim and then shoot. Hello, open. Fuck it, I should just skip the flash. A mirror, Ashley.
Wait, follow me, wait, follow me, wait, follow me, wait, follow me.
That's the wrong grenade. That should be fine though, I think. Honestly, I haven't paid attention to anything that's going on with GDQ. I was like, oh, it's online? Okay, I don't care. I didn't even submit. Maxie's been wanting to run that RE7 DLC for a GDQ for a really long time.
Wait.
Stoked that he finally gets to do it. But the run's gonna be like 10 minutes long. So. I can't remember. And a Zoe, I guess.
Wait.
It's like a 15-minute run, yeah.
Follow me. Wait, follow me, wait, follow me. Wait. Follow me.
But yeah, I haven't really paid much attention to this GDQ. From what I saw, the games list was kind of weird. Nothing I saw that like looked too hype. Not many of my friends getting in, really. Last of it was a fucking banger. And yeah, it's online, so.
Follow me, wait. Wait.
Thank you. Appreciate that. That's like probably the thing I'm the most proud of GDQ run wise.
Leave it to me, Leon.
Is that DMC1 run? It was kind of a banger. I do say so myself. No, sir, you're a banger. Why, thank you. Quite the gaming moment. Gaming definitely occurred at that moment, for sure. My submissions are gonna be fucking stacked. Next event as well. Like Dead Space Remake, RE4 Remake, DMC3 Cake, Left 4 Dead 1. Think this part makes it into the remake? God, I hope not. Didn't they confirm the other day that like Island is confirmed in the remake? Unfortunate. I was hoping that's not the case. What's up, Chokely? Am I gonna submit time splitters? I can't. I run it on emulator. GDQ doesn't take emulated runs. I could maybe submit time splitters to the PC port, but I'd have to learn it. But no, I won't be able to submit Future Perfect because they don't take emulated runs. The game should just end after the regenerators.
I'm leaving it to you.
Oh, you get to the regenerators and they nibble on Leon's neck and he dies and the game just ends. I could maybe like relearn the run on controller and then submit that, but like that just sounds like dog shit to be honest. The only reason I would be doing it is to run a GDQ, but like, that's it. I really don't want to do that. Someone else can run it if they want to. If emulators run around on modern consoles, yeah, usually fine. Buy the season pass to get the RE4 Remake Island DLC. I believe it. Yeah, it'd be like Final Fantasy VII Remake. So actually, we're only gonna get the village in this release, and then 8 years from now we'll get Castle, and then 8 years from then we'll get Island. Dude, if I was a Final Fantasy fan, I would be so pissed that Final Fantasy VII Remake, like they still have no word of a part 2. That shit came out like 3 years ago. Not a release date, no teaser, nothing. At least they released a mobile FF7 Battle Royale to satisfy fans until then. Oh my god. It's so sad. Part 2's winter this year? When did that happen? I remember I made this joke like a couple months ago and we looked it up and there was no announced release date for part 2.
Come back anytime. What are you buying?
I remember people asking me, that's the wrong, I wanted this one. I remember people asking me like, are you gonna speedrun the new Final Fantasy? Like, no, I don't speedrun 1/3 of a game. That's kind of cringe.
What are you buying?
I have the world record for the first 1/3 of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I have a 5900X and I had a 3060. October of next year. So what, 3 years between releases? Are they just calling it FF7 Remake Part 2? I hope so, because that'd be funny. Final Fantasy VII Remake 2.
Been a long time.
Comrade. Krauser. I died in a crash 2 years ago.
Is that what I told you?
That what they told you?
One who kidnapped Ashley.
You catch on quick, as expected. After all, you and I both know where we come from. Ha, ha. Thanks, Grim. What do you want? The sample Sadler developed, that's all. Leave Ashley out of this. No one needed her to buy Sadler's trust in me. Like you, I'm American. Barrel. You got her involved just for that? Ah, ting, 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 ting. Yeah. Oh, for Umbrella's sake. Umbrella. Almost let it slip. Enough talk. Die content. I read content. Die content. Ooh. Ada.
Well, if it isn't the
Bitch!
address.
Looks like we have the upper hand here.
Yeet.
You may be able to prolong your life, but it's
Making this a
not like
league
you
stream or
can
something?
inevitable
Oh
death,
god,
is it?
please no. Not the league stream.
You knew each other?
More or less. Maybe it's about time to reveal me the reason why you're here.
Maybe some other time.
God, I hope the cutscenes. So like, you guys know how like RE2 and 3 remakes cutscenes have just like the worst dialogue of all time? I really hope that 4 make also has the worst dialogue. Like, I would love for them to do 4 makes dialogue straight, like play it serious, but just fail just so horrendously at it. It would be great, dude. Like, oh my god. Like, they try to make it serious, but just do it so poorly. Like, that would just be like the best, honestly. No, I mean like, you know, you said they turn people into monsters, not reptiles. How could they have a facility without the authorities knowing? You know, shit like that. God, I hope there's no QTEs though. Nah, it's quoting 2 make. There's some fucking terrible voice lines in 2 make. Especially Claire, honestly. Claire has it the worst. Claire gets done dirty in 2 make, dude. Holy fuck. She sounds like she's actually smooth-brained. Like her brain is actually smoothed over. And she has like the dumbest look on her face too. Oh, it's so bad. I love it. It's hilarious. Definitely not intentional though. Okay, but what's Claire's excuse? Claire's even worse. Or Ada? Secret weapon time. What's up, Revok? How you doing, dude? Wow, Divana, just being sexist? Question mark. Claire is a girl. That's true. She is a girl. Pause champ. What's up, Crowan? Howdy. RG Remake Claire's face is something else. I don't know what is wrong with her face, but it is kind of hilarious. And I know she's captured off of like a real person, but she's just a goofy motherfucker, dude.
Welcome.
The orphanage part though that got added is a banger, dude. Look, dude, I cannot wait till we're playing 4 make. I almost tried to buy the Killer 7. Till we're playing 4 make, and halfway through the game you switch to playing as Lewis in a big like 20-minute long section where you gotta like stealth walk around Verdugo and it takes fucking forever and just is actually the worst part of the game.
What are you selling?
Dude, even casually,
What are you
the
selling?
orphanage is terrible.
What are you buying?
Do not cap, alright?
Thank you.
What's up, Shindo? Hey, howdy. Do not cap, dude. The orphanage is whack as fuck. So is Ada's section. Both of those parts are the worst parts of those campaigns. Actually. Even casually, it's just boring. Ada's takes longer than the fuck is her name? Little kid, loser, orphan. What's her face? A loser. She lost both her parents. No one loves her. What's her name? Sherry? Yeah. Yeah, Ada, you do actively do stuff, but it's like the dumbest fucking Metroid Prime ripoff minigame. This is so boring. What's up, who got beef with me? Howdy. L family, yeah. What's up, Iko Ganito? Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. But I do a speedrun using the trainer. Yes, I will just boot up the game and then teleport myself to the last room in the game, and then the speedrun will be over. That sounds really fun. What's up, Mr. W? Not really. I like to go for high scores in Mercenaries sometime. I feel like if I was ever to go back to RE4 in any competitive way, it would be Mercenaries, not speedruns. I'm just like so over speedruns for this game. Start running village. No, I don't think I will. Hey, Orange Bishop. Howdy. Howdy, howdy. My favorite part about running Resident Evil Village is the first 10 minutes of the run is walking in snow, where button mashing W is the fastest way to move. Please tell me there's no intro category? Yes, there is. But only for Village of Shadows. Yeah, but the start of RE3 Remake is like not that bad compared to that. Like, it's way worse than Village. Also, no intro exists. Boggers. What's up, Devil Brook? Howdy. Any confirmed RE4R coming out? Yes. Happy New Year. No, RE4 Remake will never come out. I'm sorry. Oh, demo? No, they're not doing a demo. But why would you focus on replayability in your games when 99% of people that play video games only play them once? I mean, I agree with you. I also wish they did that, but... Sorry. I have a life. I go outside, I talk to girls. That means I only play video games one time on the easiest difficulty and only watch the cutscenes. I don't pay attention to any of the parts where I actually have to play stuff. That stuff's annoying. But I really liked it when Leon said, barrel. Demos are a thing of the past. That's actually pretty true. I haven't seen a game demo since RE2 Remake, and the RE2 Remake demo was the first demo I had seen in like lots of years. I saw a really funny tweet today that was like, Western game developers don't know how to make video games. It's all just interactive movies, and it's like the Wojak like being all pissed, and then it's just like shows like Persona and Yakuza and like all these like visual novels. I'm like based, but also like kind of true. Ouch. But my take is universal, because my logic is consistent. Yo, Trog, thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate that. Enjoy the emotes. Stop having fun. Yeah, no, I obviously like enjoy video games however the fuck you want, you filthy fucking casuals. Beta male pieces of shit. Bottom bitch gamers. I mean, what? Anyways, you know, enjoy how you want. I'm kidding. Yeah, of course, like, you know, play video games however you want. I'm not gonna gatekeep Girl Boss video games. But, fuck you, you're ruining my games. Fucking casual. Ow! Why are there so many people up here? What's up, William? God damn it. I'm gatekeeping because games aren't fun anymore? Then they're not even yours to gatekeep. You don't even enjoy them. This is why I just play the same like 5 to 20 games that came out on PS2 like forever ago. Because they're goated. And sometimes I play a new game that's actually good, like Doom Eternal. That dude is inside the wall. Late to the DMC party, but that's my jam. Can't believe I missed out as a kid. That shit happens though. Not many people play Devil May Cry, so it's like not surprised that a lot of people missed out. A lot of people got into DMC because of DMC 5, which is the best thing I could say about DMC 5. I'll play 100 games as your New Year's resolution. How are you gonna speedrun? You don't want to play the same 10? No, Demonic. You got it all wrong. You had it right before. Just play the same 10 games. That's the key to success. That's the key to happiness right there. If you just play the same 10 games, you will always have fun. You don't have to worry about new games being bad or anything like that. You can just enjoy the classics. I saw a funny tweet the other day that was like, dudes really will just find 5 movies and 5 songs they like, and that's that. Exactly. Just watch that shit over and over again. I'm about it. True, but what if, and hear me out here, I could find games that are more fun than those 10 games? Not possible. Not worth it, honestly. Also, I don't want to base any more of my opinions off video essays. I want to be able to shit talk games like High on Life. Or you could just not watch a video essay about it, not play it, and just not talk about it. And if anyone asks you what your opinion is on it, you could just say, I don't have one. Giga Chad. That's what I do. I will say, what's that, to things that I perfectly know exactly what it is. Just so I don't have to talk about it.